Wholeness. I'm back in my car, and today's YouTube is really very much about boundaries, personal space. We talked about letting go in the last YouTube, and once you let go, you actually create a space. And how are you protecting or shielding your own space? But before I carry on, I'd like you to hit the subscribe button below, share, comment, and also press the bell so you get regular updates. Because really, there'll be a mixture of things coming up every week. Mondays will be very much what I like to call Monday musings, with perhaps a meditation coming in. Wednesdays will be something that I'm concentrating on in the week, or things that are coming up in my reality, or just things that are coming up within my coaching experiences as an empowerment coach, allowing you to come into your freedom of beingness, but allowing you to connect to your space that is within you, that's always been with you as your soul, basically through your own self-empowerment and your self-expression, so that you can become your own leader. And so thinking about all of this week, and coaching various people this week, what really came up with many people at the moment, and it's also coming up in the collective, is having boundaries. And I was talking to this with my daughter, my eldest daughter, and she gave me this amazing book that it's called this: Women Don't Owe You Pretty. And I was amazed when I started reading this book, because it's written by a 21-year-old girl. So I'd like to share a few extracts from this book and then talk about it. And the first one in chapter 8 is about protecting your energy. So it says in the book, as I quote and read from the book, that first and foremost, your time and your energy should be preserved above all for yourself. And it's how much are you owning yourself? How much of yourself are you giving away? How much of your time are you even spending with yourself and really being accountable to yourself? And in previous YouTube videos, I've spoken about filling your own cup, and really starting the day by filling your own cup first before you can go out and help others. So, and in knowing this, the book says that anyone who wants to be a part of your life must be an addition to your own wholeness. And this is so important to know, that, people go in and out of relationships because they feel, oh, that person completes me. But really, have a look. Are you whole first, so that you can meet your reflection as another wholeness who's ready to meet you where you are? Ready to hold you accountable for your beingness, and ready to even raise you further up in your own consciousness, in what you both experience together. And so the book says, if you are subconsciously seeking someone to make you whole, then you're not ready for a relationship. Because relationships are when two whole beings come together to make one. In the Kundalini works, the Shakti rises to meet her Shiva. She is whole, he is whole. She's energy, he is electricity. But together they are whole. They're whole before, but together they are complete. And so the book says, sure, relationships can aid us in a journey of healing and help us to accept parts of ourselves that we are yet to fully own and yet still feel insecure about. So I question, where are you feeling insecure about you, that you are going out there with a neediness? Where are you not completing within yourself? All things that one must regularly check in with one's mental, emotional, spiritual well-being. But if you put your worth and happiness exclusively into another person, The moment you part ways, you'll be left with the same unhealed wounds that you started off with. And now with an additional person-shaped void to fill that to. Now we've just gone through, the full moon, the eclipse, we've let go and let God, and we've created these vacuums. How are you filling those vacuums? Are you filling them from a space of lack? Are you filling them from a space of scarcity? Or are you filling them with a space of wholeness that you are? When we use other people to make us feel whole, we start to base our worth on how the other treats us. And we end up losing our own self-worth and our own self-identity. Have a look. Who were you before that person even came into your life? Like, who are you being? Our worth should not be defined by how a certain person treats us, and we can take it as a personal fault or a reflection of our worthiness when they project their own internalized suffering onto us by mistreating us. What are you allowing to come into your life, into your space, into your field? Prioritize the love that you have for yourself so much all the time that if that relationship ends, you do not end up feeling half full or diminished. Ask yourself in each moment, what would love do right now? Right now. Because you already have a firm sense of who you are, and you realize that you are more than enough on your own. I am perfect. I am full. I am complete. You see, people who focus on everyone else but themselves tend to neglect their own needs in the process. All is self. Everyone you meet in life is a reflection of who you are being. So who comes first? Who comes first in an aeroplane when the aeroplane is having some sort of a malfunction? What do they tell us to do? Grab the oxygen mask, put it over your own face first, and then hand it out to your loved ones. Do not be tempted, the book says, to buy into the heteronormative lie that wants women to exist for everyone but themselves. There is nothing noble in self-sacrifice. Not at all. Not at all. Think about the person you could become if you stopped searching for value in your ability to fix others. How are you playing God? And to put that energy into yourself and your own life first. I couldn't go out coaching people all the time if I wasn't filling my own cup first. Because I'm not being accountable to myself and I'm not being authentic to the people I'm coaching. It just wouldn't feel right. Energetically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, I wouldn't be able to do it. I fill my own cup first. Every day, in every moment. Imagine the sheer power and confidence that you would radiate. Just imagine. Because that radiance, that confidence is the love, is the light. Reading from the book again. When you choose to focus on yourself, the things you once craved and the people from whom you once desperately needed validation will cease to become necessary. Who do you need validation from first and foremost? Have a look. Yourself. You realize you do not need validation from anyone else. In fact, you never did. They were all temporary distractions from the real love of your life, yourself. You are your own beloved. I put an Instagram post about that today. What are you fearing? in not allowing your self-love to greet you, to meet you, to caress you? Why are there so many other distractions in the form of other people, places, possessions that possess you? Take a breath. Go into the pause. Go into this space. Go into that moment. Again, reading from the book. You don't have time in this life to be wasting precious energy on the people who don't even realize what a privilege it is to know you. You know what I used to say a while ago? Meet me where I am, or otherwise vibrate out of my life. Simple. If they can't see how bloody fantastic you are, why would you want to be with them anyway? You can't expect you from other people. One thing, I was having a conversation with my daughters the other day, and I said to them, are you willing to share more of me with me? And they really got it. Because our journey home is ad infinitum. It's infinite. The more we blossom within. So coming back to the book, not everyone deserves to know you, and not everyone can reciprocate the energy that you're willing to pour into a relationship. No. But then those people simply don't deserve to know you. Move on. Move on. To practice self-love and protect your energy, you need to start implementing boundaries with the people that you surround yourself with. Remember, those who do not respect them do not deserve to know you. They don't. So simple boundary things could be things like saying no, speaking up when somebody is making you feel uncomfortable. If you need time alone, just say so. You don't have to justify the fact that you need time alone. Delegating tasks and saying yes to help from others. And stop apologizing if somebody corrects you. Don't say sorry. Say thank you. Instead, turn it around. Change the energy of the words. Even going to certain events, it says in the book. Am I going to this event because I want to, or I feel pressurized to go to it? Do I have the capacity to help my friend out right now? Do I follow the advice I give to others? That's a huge one. Are you being the beingness before you're doing the doingness, or are you just being the doingness? That's not authentic. Do I feel comfortable in this moment? Or what am I putting off right now to do something else? What are the distractions that I'm feeding into myself? How do the people currently in my life make me feel? Have I been allowing myself to feel my feelings lately? How are you loving yourself up every day? How are you feeling into yourself every day? That's like a part of self-care. Have I expressed to people how I'm feeling? Are people respecting my identity? So again, setting boundaries, reading from the book. I constantly implement new boundaries as I learn more about my desires and what makes me uncomfortable, to ensure that people who do not seek to respect them no longer have the privilege of staying in my life. Same thing as I said. Stay in my life or vibrate out. So verbally setting boundaries reveals to me who those people are based on their response. Even though it's not my fault that these people are in my life, I have to hold myself accountable and remember that I have a big part to play in how I choose to entertain them. Every moment you have a choice. Imagine the person you could become if you stopped trying to fix others and put that energy on yourself instead. Be honest with yourself. Admit that part of yourself that still believes your self-worth is tied up on pleasing others. Why? But learn that it's healthy to overspend my energy whilst neglecting my own needs in the process. I mean, it's not healthy to overspend my energy. It's emotionally debilitating when people use you as a source for their own empowerment. And it's for this reason exactly that people put money and go to therapy. But I'm not your therapist. I'm your coach. I'm your empowerment coach. I'm your freedom coach. I'm your self-mastery coach. And so the book says, when I began setting boundaries and checking in with myself, I became aware of how I felt after spending time with certain people, because it forced me to think about myself first and shield my energy. I don't like to use the word protect my energy, because even that word comes from a lack. There's no protection that this heart needs, because it's pure and it's whole. So I just shield my energy. And so we go on to this book further. What boundaries do you need to put into place to protect your own energy? Number 1, do you feel you're able to say no to the other person? Because no is clear, cut communication. Yet we often find ourselves guilty for saying no at the expense of our own comfort or desires. But what can be clearer than a no? Don't feel guilty about it. How does this person make you feel after seeing them? You will know immediately. Are you left feeling depleted of energy, or are you feeling a joyous vibration? Always follow your joy, your highest excitement. Then you know that that person's good for you. So I do not approve of people who are going to make me feel in a lower vibration. Does this person value your time, your space? Energy vampires, the needy ones. Time, I'm reading from the book now, time is another important boundary and a real eye-opener when it comes to how people value their relationship with you. If they always show up late, cancel an appointment last minute, and only drop into your life when they need you, they don't respect your time. Another thing that says be accountable. Be accountable to your word. Say what you mean and mean what you say. Number 1 rule. This is reciprocal in any relationship. Otherwise, it's just a no-go. You cannot be used for your energy. Do not give any time for people who don't make time for you. Simple. And you don't owe anyone an explanation. You don't need to justify or go into validation or stories. Because once one story starts, it just starts off a whole host of different stories. Right. Gaslighting. Gaslighting is when someone's lived experiences are deflected and made out to be in their head, is a form of emotional manipulation that often plays out in any abusive relationships. And it can cause victims to lose their sense of self almost entirely. When people get defensive and say things like, "Oh, I didn't mean to, you've taken it the wrong way," or "Oh, it was only a joke." Yeah, was it really only a joke? What this does is shift the blame onto the person who's actually feeling hurt, leaving them feeling responsible for dealing with their feelings and often causing them to question their own reality. So it could be straight up lying, denial of your lived experiences, or even calling you crazy. Be smart with your energy. Check in with yourself and others regularly to encourage the preservation of your energy, even in your friendship groups, even in other groups that you belong to. Help each other to prioritize and preserve your own resources, which are time, energy, and money. Whatever it is, whatever form it takes, big or small, put yourself first. And this is not being selfish. This is being self-accountable. Because your energy is like a currency, a limited currency. Why are you feeling so drained of your currency? Because you're giving your energy away. You're giving your currency away. Why are you not filling your own cup first? What would love do in each and every situation? What would love do. If you spend too much time or energy doing things for other people, I'm reading from the book now, and spreading yourself too thin, let your friends know that you simply don't have the capacity to meet them this week. Check in with yourself regularly to see how much energy you have left in your energy bank, as if it were savings that you had. This is your currency. Keep an eye on this currency in your income, as ingoing and outgoing expenses, of how much you give to others and how much you receive from them yourself. If you're not receiving anything from them, well, they're obviously energy vampires or just takers. And what is this showing up to you? You can only give with a full heart. You can only receive with a full heart. You cannot run on empty. The same way a business cannot be profitable if it doesn't receive more money than it's spending. If you have a business, you wouldn't be giving out money, would you? Think of yourself as a business deal. And before overextending yourself in a situation, ask yourself if this is even necessary. Is it really necessary right now? Women are constantly expected to be nice, the good mom, the good housewife, the good carer. What if that really means to perform emotional labor for free, it says in the book? If you don't conform, you're one of those women then. Are you a doormat? Are you going to allow everybody to sweep their feet across you every day, in every moment of your life? Set your boundaries, coming from love of self. And by setting the boundaries simply protects you from compromising yourself. It may initially make you feel guilty, but delegating your energy without worrying about how others see you is an essential survival kit that women have been discouraged from using. Respect yourself and your energy better than freely giving it to people who have no intention of reciprocating. Do not devalue yourself like this. Stop saying sure to everything when you really mean no. Protect your energy. Again, the book is called Women Don't Owe You Pretty. And so really setting those boundaries, really loving yourself so much that you just emanate that, you ooze that. And when you love yourself so much and it oozes out of your pores and your aura and your radiance and your speech and your thoughts and your words and your deeds, this does not allow any self-deprecating, low vibration, scarcity, I'm not enough, I'm not good enough, energetic fields to even come into it. So own it. Really own it. But own it with love, with pure love, love of self, filling the cup. Look back at some of my YouTubes on this. And you can always fill in the Linktree form down below in the description and have a connection call with me. And perhaps we can go on a coaching journey together. But I just have one more message left for you. Right now, in this moment, what would love do? What would love do? Feel into that. Breathe into that. And then it's simple. Follow it up. Take an actionable. Much love.